And we're live at Expert35. I'm your host, Gabriel Garcia, and as promised, experts from 35 different industries talking about the challenges, the hardships, and the opportunities. And today we got nobody else but Mike from Clean Sweep talking about cleaning because getting back to the office is so important. Mike, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Gabe, thanks a lot for having me, man.
Hey, no worries, man. It's so good to have you because as people are getting back to work, people are worried. They don't know everything that's happening. And like you said, everybody thinks they're an expert, but no, we really do have the cleaning expert today. If you want to join the conversation, follow us on Expert35. You can text Expert35 to the number on the screen. If you want to know more about Mike and the expert cleaning that he does, you can text Expert, and he's OG, Expert06. So Expert06. Thanks for coming back, Mike. Before we jump into it,
Yes,
tell
sir.
us, how did you slip into this cleaning service stuff? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, Lord, yeah. That's been a while. We've been in this cleaning business since 2002. Um, Actually, I was in corporate America and working a full-time job. My wife, Stephanie, and I, we were at her dad and stepmom's house, and um, they said, "Hey, the cleaning crew stole from us for the last time. We're not going to put up with that anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do to hire a new crew." And I said, "Well, Stephanie likes to clean, and I could pay off a little debt, so we're family, won't steal from you. We promise you that." She said, "That's a great idea." And they had an architect. He was an architect, and she is a wealth management. They do taxes and wealth management stuff. And so we've been cleaning for them ever since 2002 now.
Mhm.
And so that's how it got started. And then she referred to another person, another person. I tried to get rid of this business a few times. So I didn't think I was in the supposed to be in the cleaning business. I was in corporate America, and I was just paying off a little debt. But the business never went away, and people kept calling. They kept referring, and they kept asking, and so we got a few more and a few more, and then in corporate America, sometimes things happen. So I went through some layoffs in 2013. I was laid off from a pretty decent job. It was on Valentine's Day. We had
Oh
just bought a
man.
house in January. Yeah, I know, Valentine's Day, right? I said, "Woo, that was a good, real nice kiss out the door." Anyway, so that was about the best thing that happened. So we cried, I prayed, I talked to God a little bit and talked to my wife, and we decided we should move on and do this business because it's been calling us. And so that day changed our lives. Um,
Incredible. And I want to
it's
just
been a
plug
great
you
business.
in right now because if you talk to any business owner that had a job and was running it on the side, all of us, the day we got laid off has been the best day of our lives because we're like we
Yeah,
lost that block and chain. We were able to just say, I can now focus. I can now like make this work, make it or burn it. And
yeah, that's true. And you really don't have any choice. But if you're actively involved in working, and you know that, hey, I just got to get up and do something.
mhm.
It's going to happen, and so that's what happened. We've been doing it ever since. In 2013, we went full time, and it's been a blessing. Now we have I think we have about 70 accounts that we take care of. We got people working 7 days a week. We're
Wow.
cleaning and sanitizing and sterilizing, and
And you were
we do a
basically
lot of things other
24/7,
than
right?
just,
Because people are
oh,
cleaning
well,
at midnight, right? Because offices are available.
yes, sir. We had a team we had a team working all with two teams working all day yesterday, and then we went to the airport last night to do some. We clean restaurants when they remodel restaurants in the
Mhm.
airports. We degrease them and clean them, and then we do a final spit shine on them when they get ready to open. So that's what we were doing last night until about 1:30 in the morning.
Wow, so interesting, and we're so grateful for the work you do because again, it's so important. People forget these essential businesses like trash removal, and the plumbers and the cleaners. You guys are so instrumental, and a lot of times we don't see it. In fact, we don't see your work,
Yes.
right? And that's a good thing. That
Yeah.
we don't see it because otherwise we'd be impacted more. Uh, what now that like the world's changed, tell us what is changing specifically in the industry of cleaning.
Yeah. So in the industry of cleaning, the awareness of sanitizing is much more prevalent now than it ever has been. We've always used, and cleaning companies that you're looking at, you should make sure that they use good quality products, hospital grade disinfectants, products that are not harmful. A
Hmm.
lot of people say we got to use bleach. Well, bleach is very, very harmful and very damaging, and there's other products that can do the same thing bleach does without damaging surfaces um, or areas. People like to smell that it's clean. Well, you
Right.
can provide that nice, clean, fresh environment smell without bleach necessarily in some cases. So there is a place where bleach is needed and used, even with us, but we don't use it very often, and it's only in extreme situations that we'll do that. So you have to make sure that people are using the right products and the right services. So we've always cleaned for health and for safety for the coronavirus.
Hmm.
Um, but now we're adding every touch surface is what we're working on. So anywhere where your hands can touch. So reach as high as you can,
Oh
touch down as
yeah.
low as you can. And all those surfaces are getting wiped and sterilized and cleaned because people are touching. When you have an office and somebody comes to your door and stands there to talk to you, what do they touch? They touch your door jamb. They
Yeah.
touch the wall. They touch the door. Maybe the
Yeah.
top of the door because they're just leaning up
People
against it.
lean.
You have to think all those surfaces have to be sanitized.
Great question from Greg. He says, "How do you actually clean coronavirus?"
Well, the best way to clean the coronavirus, like they say, is we have to wipe the surfaces first. We clean all the dust and we clean all the dirt and debris, which takes some of the virus off the surface. But then we come in and we can spray, and the spray then gets all over everything. But the droplets are so small that they don't like soak papers or anything like that. They don't get
Mhm.
things wet, but they get them moist enough to where it sits and it has to dwell for five. They say 5 to 8 minutes to actually kill the virus. The virus has a shell around it. It's almost like a caterpillar. It has this coating around it, or maybe a boudin. Think about boudin. It's got this shell around it, the
Mhm.
skin, and once you break that skin with the chemical, then the virus gets destroyed. That's how you destroy the virus, is by breaking that shell, that skin that's holding it together. And when that happens, then the virus, um, gets destroyed. And
Right.
so
So it's time
after,
contact, cleaning,
yeah,
using that chemicals.
and dwell time, it has to sit for a minute in order
Mhm.
to kill it. So, and then we come back afterwards and we just polish any surfaces that need polishing because sometimes it leaves a residue.
Mhm.
Um, and not every surface has to be wiped, but maybe the top of your desk where you're putting your hands might need to be wiped again to remove the look of it not being cleaned.
Right.
You know, so
What about keyboards?
when
Do
we
you,
first
do
started,
you disinfect mouse and keyboards, the keyboard and the mouse, and like some of those components, like the monitors?
yes, sir, every surface that people touch, even the bottom side of your desk. Think about your desk when you're sitting at your desk. You might have your hands on top of your desk, but a lot of times people touch the bottom side too. So we wipe the bottom as well as the top. And so we try to think about anywhere anybody would put their hands, and we wipe that surface down and we disinfect and sanitize. Staplers, mouses,
Mhm.
um, anything that they would reach out and grab, the drawers and the drawer knobs at their desk. All those things are touched, and so we have to wipe all those and sanitize them. Plus, your flooring. Your flooring carries a lot of viruses, and we talked about that foot to floor contact. That's the CDC has said that most of the virus, or a lot of the virus, let's just say, is transmitted through the feet because everything falls to the floor eventually with gravity. So when you cough, it falls to the floor. You pick it up on your shoe and you walk it right in.
Right.
So it's not really. You can't take your shoes off every time you walk in your office, but you definitely can take your shoes off before you walk into your house. So I would recommend that everyone do that.
That's a great point. Actually, back to what you were saying about cleaners and not it doesn't have to be bleach. Great question from the crowd is, do natural cleaners actually work? Do they disinfect?
Well, you can look at the cleaners. There are some natural cleaners that promote the growth of bacteria, and we use some of those cleaners. We use a Young Living product. We also use a DoTerra product, and both of those products will deter and prevent the growth of bacteria. So, yes, they do work. they're not as good as the products, the industrial grade products that we're using right now. Um, but on a regular basis, if you want to use that for yourself, that is a good product to use. Yes.
Here's a question from Jennifer Johnson. She says, "What places do people miss cleaning?" I think you totally blew my mind right now. Yes, I totally do not clean under my desk, and I'm sure I pull it sometimes to move my chair up. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
clean that under my desk.
Yeah, we do that as well. We sanitize all the chair pads and the arms on the chair, as well as
Mhm.
the levers that you're pulling your chair up and down. We
Totally.
sanitize all that stuff because people are touching that. Anywhere, like I said, when I tell my people to come into an office, they walk around with their hands up and their hands down, and they see how far down do people reach and how high do people reach approximately. And we get as much of that as we can. There's going to
Yeah.
be a 6'5" guy that nobody can reach where he's touching,
Right.
but that's good because nobody's going to touch that virus anyway.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
What are the most common places people don't clean? Definitely the desk, under the desk. I see that. The
yeah,
little handles that you just kind of forget that you touched, staplers. Man, it's so interesting
yeah,
thinking about how many things you touch, right? And what do you think is an area that just
yeah.
people don't clean? Like just people, it's they forget. I think earlier you said offline, people don't change their filters, right, in the office, right? How often should we be changing those filters?
Well, right now during this virus, since everything's transmitted through the air and coughing, a lot of it's going into your vent system. So I would say you change your filter out probably every month. You don't want it to get clogged at all because
Mhm.
if it gets clogged, then stuff's coming up to the filter, but then it's falling back down in the office because it's not going into the filter because it's clogged. So you want to make sure those filters are clean. And like us, any cleaning company that's an expert will be able to identify that and actually change those. We have that service available where we tell our customers if you leave the filters out, we'll change them for you
Perfect.
when
Well,
needed.
and to Jennifer's question, if you're not changing out the filters, you probably don't even know what the ductwork looks like, right?
Yes,
So, and you guys can
and
clean out the ductwork too, and that's probably really important right now because that gets junky too, right?
yeah, we can sanitize the ductwork. I learned from a 45-year air conditioning man. He taught me how to clean the ductwork. I mean, sanitize it, not clean it completely like they would do, but we can sanitize it, and your whole house or your whole office gets a fresh smell and
Mhm.
a fresh cleaning because you've sanitized the ductwork, and the air that's circulating through the office is now clean. So makes a lot of sense.
Right. Well, let's talk about a great question is like, so an expert like yourself, we want to hire someone. We want to help people hire somebody like you. What should they have? What kind of things should they have in their toolkit?
Well, you see this picture on the screen right now. This is Patrick. He's one of
Hmm.
my guys, experts, and we're using right now a glass tool that we use, and the product that we use to clean the glass. It took us many years to figure out the perfect product for the glass, but now it doesn't matter if there's hands touching it with grease and oil or sanitizer, or if somebody's is too close and they spit on the window or whatever happens. Stuff happens like that, but these products, the product that we use and the tools that we have, clean those windows very well. We do a lot of dance studios and martial arts studios and places like that. We did a kickboxing studio that we used to take care of, and those all have a lot of glass and mirrors and windows. And so we do specialized glass cleaning and
Hmm.
mirror cleaning. So
Now, if we're hiring somebody, what should we look for, right? Like, I mean, one of the things I heard you talk offline was, color coding and like the chemicals, right? You've already, what are important tricks of the trade so that we don't hire somebody that's just like started yesterday.
yeah, that's important. To use color coded rags so that you don't cross contaminate. To use products that actually kill germs and bacteria, like some of the products you're seeing here. You like to see Thieves, that's a natural product. That's the Young Living product. And we use Thieves quite a bit when people want a natural product because it does actually kill and deter bacteria from growing. Um, Germaway is a hospital grade disinfectant. We use acid toilet bowl cleaners that really get all the scum and all the dirt the rust and the calcium buildup out of the toilets and the sinks and stuff. So those are important tools to use. Osium is an air purifying spray that actually removes odors and bacteria from the air and cleans it. So we use some of that product as well. But you have to have the right products and the right tools for the right situation. Not every office is going to need the same uh, cleaning protocol. It's basically the same, but some people are very concerned about their kitchens. Some people are
Right.
very concerned about their bathrooms. Some people want their lobby to be immaculate. So we have to
Right.
uniquely determine this client's needs and where their attention is going to be, so we can satisfy them. But we
Right.
also need to clean all the touch surfaces that are in the office. So we do everything. We do everything.
Right.
Um,
So to quick
you know,
recap,
properly.
if somebody shows up at your door, make sure they have color coded rags. That was great. I love that input. That's a great nugget. And because you don't want them to clean the toilet and then clean your desk.
Yeah, that's true. And now we're as a cleaning company, we carry around vacuums with us, okay, and we
Mhm.
use them in those offices. But in most cases, I tell the office, I say, if you have your own vacuum, we can avoid cross contamination at any level.
Right.
So you bring a vacuum in, we'll use your vacuum, or we'll bring one in and leave it there if we need to.
Mhm.
Same with mops and mop buckets and stuff. If we're moving it from this account to that account to this account to that account, we
Right.
could bring in germs from other places, and we try not to do that. So we like to have products and tools at every office that we go to so that we don't take the chance of cross contamination. Now, we also have everything we need with us just in case. What if the vacuum's broke? You have
Sure.
to vacuum.
Right.
What if the mop handle breaks or whatever? You have to have a mop. So just things like that, trying to
Well,
protect their office environment.
and you said something real important. We said it offline. You're saying it's not just the tools. Like, make sure they've been around a minute. And when we say a minute, 2, 3 years. Like, there's plenty of people thinking they can clean, but there's a very big difference between cleaning and sanitizing. And that's a question that Greg has. What is the difference between cleaning and sanitizing?
So the difference between cleaning and sanitizing is cleaning removes the dust and the dirt from the office. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily kill bacteria and germs.
Hmm.
So, and in order to sanitize properly, you need to clean first. Because if you sanitize on top of dust, it never gets to it never kills
Everything.
on the surface that it's supposed to. So we always clean first, then we sanitize, and then we work our way out
We
on
polish
the
it.
floors at the last. You
Right.
know,
So we talked about, hey, make sure they're a sanitizing company. Make sure that they have color coded equipment. Make sure they have multiple equipment. Make sure they have backups. Make sure they have a team. But one thing that you said offline that was really important was it's not just the insurance and the fact that they've been around for a couple years, but also ask for referrals and look at the team that they have. Right, not just the people they hire, but so that's what you
yeah.
consider some of those other tools. What are some of the partners that you are affiliated with, or that you can bring to the team to the table if they need it for specific cleanings?
Yeah, well, I have a toolkit of many people in my list. Restoration companies I bring in quite often if we see a leak in an office. We've had a flood in offices before where water's coming in from an atrium, or where
Hmm.
there's a lot of water coming in that way and it's coming into the building, and we have to call in a restoration company. I have those guys on my list. I have electricians on my list. I have air conditioning companies that I
Right,
deal with on a regular basis. If I go into an office and their air conditioner is broke, I notify the client about that immediately, and then I let them know I have somebody I can put you in touch with
right,
if you need that. And they're trusted, and I've dealt with them before, and they're reliable, and they're a real company. They're not just a guy in a truck.
right,
So we have those relationships that we can bring in if needed at any time. A lot of my clients just call me and they go, "Hey, do you know somebody that da 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 da?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a matter of fact, I do, and I'll connect them to you." So um, it's it's really an added value and a big benefit to partner with some of these companies.
hmm,
They provide me with referrals, and I provide them with referrals. Like, we don't do house cleaning.
right,
We won't go to your house and clean your house. We only do commercial office cleaning. We do some move in, move out cleaning for some realtors in houses, but we
right.
don't clean houses. But I have two or three house cleaning companies that I work with on a regular basis, one in particular,
Hmm.
and we share referrals back and forth. And I know that if I put them in touch with somebody, it will
It's gonna
be
be good.
done and it will be done right. And
Right.
they never complain. So those are important relationships to have.
I love it. And that's important. If you're hiring someone, find out who the relationships they do have. That way it's not just a guy on a truck. Here's a great question. For someone with asthma, what are the main things that I need to focus on cleaning?
Well, with someone with asthma, I don't really know specifically about medical conditions,
Hmm.
but what I do know is that if we sanitize the air as well as the surfaces, that's where most of it's coming into your lungs and that's asthma is your lungs, right? Capacity. So if we want to sanitize the air and make sure that that's clean, so we can do that.
Yeah.
There's
So
some diffusers.
the duct cleaning, the filter changing, and then talk about the diffusers.
Yeah, air duct cleaning, filter changing, and diffusers. There's diffusers that you can buy, and we sell the diffusers as well to people if they want to do that and clean their air on a regular basis. We also have the oils. I became a member of both DoTerra and Young Living to provide these products to people because I thought if we're cleaning surfaces, we should be able to clean air at the same time. And if the customer is really concerned about that, we
Right.
want to be able to be their source for that opportunity.
This is a great question from Jennifer. She's like, when you're out and about touching surfaces, like how do we protect ourselves? Like what are things we can avoid?
You can avoid. Well, this is going to sound kind of weird, but hey, I tell people like this: look, wash your hands with soap and water a lot. Stop biting your nails. Don't pick your nose, and quit rubbing your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where everything comes in. It comes in through these open surfaces in your body, and that's how it gets into your body.
Hmm.
So if you keep your hands clean and then you stop touching your face, biting your fingernails, because a lot of people bite their fingernails, they don't even realize it. They
Yeah.
do it so much they're just like, oh my gosh, I just ate virus. You don't want
Right.
to do that. Keep
Right.
your hands out of your mouth and that kind of thing until you've washed them. Now wash them really good for 20 seconds, like they say. Get all that soap. Soap and water is the best thing. Soap and water is the best thing to kill the virus because it breaks that shell that's holding the virus together, which destroys the virus. So you want to soap and water quite often.
Yeah. And another thing that we talked about, and I think we kind of skipped over it, but I thought it was so important. You said it's coming in through our feet. So if you can leave your shoes outside, great. But also, like, who should we not bring to the office? Like, what to avoid to track it into the office?
Who should we not bring to the office?
Yeah, no, we talked about it offline a little bit, right? You were saying like, hey,
Yeah.
don't bring
Don't
the
bring your children to the office. A lot of people have children. They bring them to the office. The children sit on the floor underneath the desk and they play with stuff. But guess what? They're touching the floor. Their
Mhm.
fingers are touching the floor. Their fingers are touching their mouth. They're putting virus into their body. Don't bring the pets in.
Mhm.
Those pets, they don't know how to wash their hands after they touch
Their
something.
paws.
And the pets are going to touch you afterwards.
Yeah.
So those are important things. If you're going home after the office, I suggest you kick off your shoes before you walk in the door. You know, it's just little things like that that can help keep you safe and make sure that that you're protected.
Right.
We can't guarantee that this is never going to happen. We can't guarantee that we'll never get the virus,
Right.
but we can do things
To
to
prevent.
help ourselves as much as we know.
Right. Jennifer's follow up is how effective is hand sanitizer? Is hand sanitizer pretty effective?
It is effective. It is very effective. But like the doctors and all the CDC things that I've been reading is soap and water is still the best
Hmm.
for 20 seconds. Washing your hands thoroughly, making sure you get all your fingers, your thumb, your wrists, everything has to be washed and
Yeah.
coated. A lot of people go like this and they rinse it off. They never get the back sides of their hands. They don't get their fingernails. They don't get their thumbs. They don't get their wrists. You got to wash really, really good and thoroughly. Hand sanitizer is very effective, um, but they still suggest that soap and water is the best thing.
Well, hand
So,
sanitizer doesn't necessarily remove the dust, the dirt, right? It just sanitizes your surface. So when you're actually
yeah,
scrubbing, you're getting all of that off your hand. Because I've used hand sanitizer and then wash my hands, and everything's dirty coming out. So it's interesting that way. All right, Mike, my
Yes.
favorite part of the show. 3 things we can do right now to start staying safe, to start sanitizing as we move back into the office. What are 3 things you recommend, we do with our office?
Well, with your office, what I recommend is a regular sanitizing, a regular cleaning crew or cleaning service, but also sanitizing on a regular basis. And
Mhm.
I suggest 2 to 3 times a week because a couple days in between, there's a little bit of crossover, but a couple days in between should keep you very safe and secure, knowing that things are being killed, the viruses and bacteria. So that's really critical. To clean all your touch surfaces in your offices have to be touched every couple 3 days, 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how many times you're in there. Now, if it's a medical facility and there's a lot of people coming in that are sickly, you probably want to do that every day.
Yeah.
And you can do it yourself, or you can hire experts like us or other companies like us that can come in and do that. And make sure that these things are done the right way, and all the surfaces are touched and clean.
Mhm.
The other thing I would suggest is keeping people off the floor. Don't let people sit around on the floor like kids and things like that. And stop putting your fingers in your face, people. It's important.
So good. I love it. I love it. No, that's
Wear
so
your
true.
mask.
I mean,
Hey, you know what? Right here. Here you go. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but you got
where
to be wearing your mask, okay?
and that's good because a
I know
couple
you
people
can't.
were asking. There's so many questions. People are like, "Hey, are you keeping your people safe? Are they wearing masks?" Yes. I mean, you are like
Yes.
the definition of safety.
Yes.
Mike, so good having you on the show. Such great information. I'm gonna end the show showing a little video clip of some of the stuff you guys have done. But I love the insight. If you're gonna hire someone, insured, make sure they've been around. Like you've been around for decades now, right? And that gives you
Yeah,
the
nearly 20
exposure.
years.
That gives
20
us the
years doing this
exposure.
thing. So it's
Yeah.
pretty good, and we got a lot of positive comments. You can check our Google pages or our Facebook, Clean
Mhm.
Sweep Office Cleaning and Commercial Services, and we're here to help. There's my Mick Mo Shine guy. So if you forget what I look like, that's me right there. Anyway, yeah, all of our people are protected and safe and trained, and we're just here to help and make sure that we can do the best job we can for you, our clients.
And that we stay safe. No, thank you so much for the work
We
you
stay
do.
safe.
Thank you for like your time today. I know you're busy. Obviously, like it's Monday, and you're probably scheduling the whole week out. And I mean, it's got to be crazy, especially as things are opening and closing. So really appreciate your time. There's a ton of
Thank
comments. We're
you.
gonna put you back on the Facebook chat and gonna answer some of those questions we didn't have time to. We're also gonna put that checklist because that checklist of who not to bring to the office is important, and the other checklist is like, hey, what are the important areas to like clean and what to check for when hiring somebody as professional as you guys from Clean Sweep. That was incredible information.
Yeah,
Mike, thanks so
we'll,
much for your
we'll put all
time.
that together. We'll put all that together for you to share with everybody.
Absolutely. Guys, if you want to get in touch with Mike, text expert06 to the number on the screen. And we'll be, we hope to have you back again. We want to kind of learn more about anything you learn, anything new, because again, we're trying to do it safe and you're kind of like on the forefront. You are in the front lines of this and you're helping a lot of people get back to work safe. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gabriel. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, guys, that was Mike Clean Sweep. Let me see if I can get his video up here. We got a lot of other fun things happening this week. We're going to talk about painting and coating and how important that is in this time because you're at home, how to stay clean, how to keep your house, really working and changing the way you feel about your space. So follow us on Expert35. I'm going to show you guys a quick video clip from you guys. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Mike Mogell, the CEO of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. A clean and disinfected space is essential to keeping your customers and your staff healthy, safe, and productive while preventing the spread of COVID-19. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning with more than 20 years experience in janitorial, restaurant, post-construction, and floor maintenance cleaning. We really make it shine. We are focused on quality cleaning and wellness in our customer spaces. Our team is professionally trained to ensure not a spot is missed, and we use products that are safe for your property and your people. Our service